Plus personal development.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got the access to the TV screens and treadmills and stuff like that, and you watch videos when you go for a walk or something, I would assume.
Yeah.
And you're doing two things at once. And a lot, like one thing, I mean, when I would have started last year and you changed my whole mindset on everything, I should say, I was like, all right, I've got to designate time here, time there, read a little bit of book there, watch a video there. But it's like, hang on, you can do like 3, 4, 5 different, maybe not that many, but a couple of different things in the one hit, be proactive that way, but still do it consistently every day. How do you guys go with it in the morning? Like, is it easy or...
Well, at the moment, I have my beautiful partner that wakes me up, and he's my PT, and he gets me ready for, my ritual of training. And then also, when he picks me up, he'll have a podcast playing. So it has no relevance to my actual industry. It's boxing related. But I actually get tips from listening to boxing related podcasts, which is really funny. But
it's positive.
It's positive.
It's all positive stuff.
It's so positive.
It's good that it's subconsciously happening as well. When I say that, like, obviously it's playing and you know what's going on, but you're just getting in the car, going home.
Yeah.
You're not going, all right, stop everything, we need to play a podcast and listen in. It's just happening.
Two things at once. Yeah. So I sit in the car and that's my, second bit of personal development for the day. So without planning on it, which is great.
Well, we do that as well. Like, as soon as we wake up, we'll turn on
the TV.
Yeah, straight away we'll have it. We used to put music on back in the day, but now we're immersed in it.
We used to put 50 on.
We've got we've got something positive. It could be Les Brown, Eric Thomas, whatever it is. It's something positive where it just gets us started, and we might not even be listening to it. It's just on in the background. We're immersed in it. But I think one of the most important rituals that we haven't talked about today is which. I must admit, it's one of the rituals that I overlook, but everyone needs to do it, is perform gratitude.
That's true.
First thing when you wake up, you should be performing gratitude. And I must admit, I am guilty of not doing it because you just forget, because life takes over.
Really quickly.
And the stresses take over, and all you're worried about is getting to through your day. Right?
You're not wrong.
And it's so easy to overlook, but it's so important, because if you can perform gratitude every day and always be grateful, nothing will stress you out.
I think one thing to help you perform gratitude day in, day out, if you feel like life just takes over as soon as you wake up, leave your phone aside for at least 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes of the day and the last 30 minutes before you go to sleep. I'm guilty of it as well. And I notice that when I do touch my phone either side, morning and night, everything takes over, because what's on your phone? Emails, text messages, work, businesses, social media. And for us, social media isn't like consuming. Social media is like business. So your mind's racing a million miles an hour, then you would like to get into discussions about things. No, you need to shut all of that noise off. The only way you're going to do it is to put your phone aside, turn your alarm off, and then leave the room.
Yep.
Go to the bathroom.
It's getting back to the gratitude part, which is, that's probably why, Jade, that people forget to do it, because we look at our phones and then all of a sudden we're thinking about emails, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram. They've got so many different things, right?
Yeah.
And you just get distracted and you forget about why you actually live your life.
And not to mention, like you say, with that as well, I'm big for it, and I have been, and you guys have pulled me up on it before, is comparing yourself to others. That's so hard to do, to give yourself a form of gratitude when you're going, look at this guy, look at that girl, and they're doing this, they're doing that. You know what I mean? It's so... It's a killer, and it can actually kill you. You know what I mean? And that's a very... I like that point you bring up about gratitude.
I stopped doing that, looking at what other people are doing, because then you never... Like, the moment that you stop looking what other people are doing, you actually realise that the things that you are doing are truly you and not a copy of somebody else.
I think it takes a while to push past that barrier, though, Sarah. Like, it took me a while to stop comparing myself to others, because I thought that's what you would do in a competitive environment. So I was wrong, right? Like, it wasn't the right thing to do. But I used to look at others and go, not so much envy them, but then think, okay, I should be at a higher level by now if this other person is at a certain level that I'm trying to chase.
Yeah.
And I think comparing yourself to others, it can get you down, but you can also use it as a motivational tool, right? And I think a lot of people who compare themselves to others, they envy and they hate and they become jealous, right? Where what you should do is turn that into motivation. So if I see someone that's doing really, really well, like, I will look to them as motivation. I won't so much compare myself to them, but I'll look to them and go, okay, what have they done so I can sort of achieve what they've achieved?
I'm really big on, like, not just looking from the outside and wondering, actually going in there and asking. I'm not shy to ask somebody that I look up to.
Well, we know you're not sure.
How did you get here? What did you do? Ask for their advice. Because you'd be really surprised. We don't live in a world anymore where it's so competitive and people don't want to share their knowledge. People are proud of what they know. They're proud of the knowledge that they've built up over the years, and they should want to share their knowledge. And if they don't, it shows you what kind of person that they are. And then I wouldn't look up to those people anymore.
I think something really cool happened recently at the salon where someone that Sarah really looks up to paid a visit to the girls at the salon and spent like 2 hours with you.
Yeah, and it was really, really unexpected, actually. Her name is Natalie Ann, and we are going to be stocking her products soon. And it was a really easy decision to do that, because she came into our salon and we expected nothing but for her to talk about her product, and it was basically the absolute opposite. She inspired us, she came and gave us advice and little tips, and I was actually really grateful because I'd met her in the past, like a while ago, and then re-meeting her again, just, you see people on social media and you can get a sense of what they are, but you're not really going to know how they are in a normal one-on-one situation. So having her come into our salon and then just exceed my expectations of what I thought she was coming for was actually really, really beautiful. So
it's authentic. Authenticity is rare, and I think so when we receive authenticity, it's beautiful. And there aren't a lot of people.
And I think that needs to be a ritual as well, where people perform authenticity throughout, whether it be social media, their personal brand, or just in everyday living, so many. I mean, we're in the eastern suburbs, so let's face it, there's a lot of fake people around here, right? And a lot of people are probably not going to like that, but it's the truth, and, I think being real, authentic, being raw is actually a rare commodity these days, but a valuable commodity, that can get you so far in life. Like, be humble, be real. That's what people want now, people don't want the puffed out ego and all of that sort of thing. Like, that's gone, people are not into that. I don't think people are ever into it anyway.
It's definitely.
And I think there was a stage where, when social media first came out and people were big on it, flaunting their wealth, flaunting, the people that they knew and all of that sort of thing, and it's no good. Like, people want, why do you think reality TV is so popular now? Because people want to see the real thing. That's stories, for example, Instagram stories, Snapchats are so popular because it's real footage of what's happening right now. Facebook Live, it's real. So I think being part of your daily ritual should be, just being real, being true to yourself, and exactly what Sarah said. Be authentic.
That's the most fun part, I think.
Guys, we're going to wrap up soon, but before we do, let's go through some tips from all of you for our listeners out there for daily rituals. And let's start with beginner tips and stuff that leads to the advanced, like what you guys do. So, Zah, I'll start with you. And what's your couple of tips?
My first tip is always start with exercise, right? And it sounds very, very basic, but I want it's the beginner's tip. Always start with exercise. Always get the body moving, because as soon as you get the body moving, your brain takes over as well. And then the brain gets those endorphins, that good energy, and everything can spread from there. Wake up early, start moving, do some sort of exercise. Even if it's just a walk for like 20 minutes, it'll change your life, because that will spiral into so many different good habits. Right? You'll start eating better, you'll start sleeping better, you'll start wanting to learn more because you'll get some progression in your mind. You'll start looking better because you need to exercise to look good. You'll get more confidence. Like, so much stuff stems from exercise. And
really
I
good.
actually owe, training and exercise to my personal development journey because, I did my body transformation and back when I was about 30 and I did it purely for aesthetics. But then when I got to the point where I wanted to get to, I was like, hang on, this has done so much for my mind. I want to keep going. And here I am, 4 years later. So I always start with exercise.
Fantastic.
I would probably say planning and preparation. So you can plan out all this cool stuff that you're going to do tomorrow and, starting from where you want to start. But if you don't have time and if you don't allow that time to be able to do that before your obligations start, so you have to get to work, you have to get, on public transport leave enough time to get to work, to get to where you need to be. All that stuff takes precedence over your daily rituals. They absolutely will, and you'll forget about them and you'll never start them. So get up, set your alarm an hour early, half an hour early just to start. And start somewhere.
Yeah.
If you don't start somewhere, I know these daily rituals that Zar performs every single day, that I perform every single day, we've been doing it for years. So you need to start somewhere and build up to that, build up to your desired level of whatever you want to do. But allowing enough time. We've all been there where we don't have enough time to do anything.
Yeah, you can't get to our level of what we're doing. And I'm sure there's other people out there that
doing
are more
stuff.
hardcore than us, right? But you can't get to that level overnight.
Yep.
Like, you've got to work towards it. But once you do get to that certain level, man,
Feels
you
good.
you can take over the world. You can do whatever you want. And I tell everyone that, right? And people might laugh at it, but I actually feel it inside here that I can take over the world, right? And that's what I want you guys to feel like as well,
Yeah.
It's very important that you have that self-confidence.
Go on, Sarah. Can you top that?
Well, when you're starting out, go back to basics, write it down so you don't forget. Write it down every single day. Write your goals down, write what you have to do for the day down, and follow it till it becomes routine.
What's your tip, Marcus?
He has none.
God, I can't top that.
The shower.
Have a shower every day.
Eat food at
Eat
lunchtime.
food. Yeah. Well, I actually do set reminders for that.
Don't you have a walking your dog ritual?
I have to, yeah. Even if I get home late, I have to take him for a walk because he's been locked up in the yard
Yeah.
all day. But
You've also got your pub ritual as well. You just missed happy hour.
Yeah, so make sure you go to the pub. Get to the pub at 5 o'clock because it's happy hour. It'll make you happy. All right, guys. No, I actually don't have anything besides what you guys said. They're pretty good tips.
Copycat.
But that was a really good podcast. I think that
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, provided a lot.
Thanks for coming in, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want me next
Thanks
week?
for coming.
I think we might have a
Happy
break.
to blow in,
this is not a
guys.
ritual,
Happy
no.
to blow on in.
Maybe Jade and I will be sick and you can come back in.
That might be an accident.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Fantastic. Yeah.
thanks for listening.
Thanks,
Subscribe
guys.
and tell
Happy
your friends.
Easter.
See you guys. Bye bye.
See you guys. Peace.